in Lebanon that plays out through Hezbollah, which is now more directly involved. Actually, last night there were two Israeli bombing not too far from my place.
Like the ones who are living in the south of Beirut, which has been evacuated.
Oh, okay.
So still many of them still live on the streets because they have no place to
No
go.
place to go.
Yeah.
So these are all tents for the people who are displaced.
Yeah, exactly. Displaced people. Some of them are staying here in these tents. So now when they bomb South Beirut, they don't give a warning anymore.
Okay.
But before, at some point, they used to have a map with the location of the building they want to bomb.
Yeah.
Now they will say Khat Tahrik, Burj Barrage, they will name the whole area. What the heck? Follow me. He's a foreigner, I think. What the hell is happening?
I don't know what's going on.
It's the first time I see something like this here.
Do you think it's related to the current situation of war?
Breaking news on this special edition of What You Need to Know. Attack on Iran. The US and Israel launching a wide-scale assault on Tehran. Plumes of smoke seen rising in the country.
As you can hear, the air raid sirens have now started here in Tel Aviv.
Is having an impact in the Middle East and beyond.
Oh my God!
And also other countries in the Middle East where the US has a presence. And it's not just hitting military targets. Luxury hotels, shopping malls, airports, oil installations, and apartment buildings have also been damaged.
And scenes across Lebanon. Rescuers work through the night to try to find survivors under rubble. Few, if any, come out alive. No one expected strikes in such areas of Beirut, which have been outside the conflict.
Every headline made the Middle East sounds like a place you stay away from. I was heading toward it in the middle of rising tensions. I am moving through the region by land. I wanted to see what people are doing while all of that was happening. After spending a few days here in Syria, I felt things are more stable than my expectations, despite the ongoing war between Iran and Israel, US. Although somebody told me instability still remains in the country, mostly things goes as normal. But today I am crossing to the neighboring country, Lebanon, from Syria. Since early March 2026, tensions between Israel and Iran have escalated beyond a proxy conflict in Lebanon that plays out through Hezbollah, which is now more directly involved. Rockets are launched from southern Lebanon and airstrikes are hitting inside the country. What used to be limited to border area is no longer contained. Some strikes have reached areas close to the capital, Beirut, and many people have been already displaced, moving within the country or across the borders. So the border I am planning to cross was closed recently as people are displaced across the region. But now it's open again, but tensions are quite high. At the same time, part of daily life in Lebanon still continues. That contrasts what I want to understand. There's some anxiety, of course, but I want to understand the reality on the ground. So I hope to see you in Lebanon.
is before me, or?
Welcome to Beirut, the capital city of Lebanon. So I'm gonna explain you briefly how the trip to Beirut was like. So I caught a taxi in Damascus around last noon and got to the border in half an hour. Once I got to the border, I found it's very militarized, and even on Syrian side I was warned about the situation ahead. They told me, why are you going to Beirut? And near the crossing I see the damaged building. Some recent tree hit, shattered storefronts, just scattered across the ground, and what seems like informal settlements for people who had to move and haven't left. And then as soon as the taxi who drove me from Damascus dropped me around up the town near the border, and I've been waiting for another transport going to Beirut. There's almost no traffic heading toward Beirut given the situation right now. Then on the way to Beirut, I passed some of the mountain area in between, and I found almost no light functioning. Actually, last night there were two Israeli bombing not too far from my place. Despite that things going as normal in downtown, but too far here, there are quite tension. I'm not here to chase danger. I just want to see what life looks like during this situation.
ناروتو تريد انمي تريد انمي
ايوه احنا عشاق انمي نحن.
جيد جدا جيد جدا.
I love you انمي.
تعمل هل انت تعمل هنا هون
ايه كنا
احنا هون نبيع من هذول.
كم بكم؟
20
20 ماذا هذا؟
طاولة ذهب. شطرنج كش ملك.
جيد. اوكي. هذه. اوكي.
صورها له.
جيد. واو. كيف حياتك في
اي لبنان كنادر. نو مشكلة كتير.
لماذا؟
حياة صعبة، مطر فلاس شحالة مشكلة
بين اسرائيل وايران
على حياتك بلبنان. ايه شلون ما اثرت؟ والله ما ببيع يا سلمة.
مشكلة.
ما في شغل، شغل ما في. نو عمل.
صعبة حيل، مو شوي. خليها على الله يا معلم. بدها جبل، شيخ الجبل حتى يفك. الحمد لله. وات
شكرا جيد.
ويلكم برو.
علي
الى اللقاء.
محمود
الى اللقاء.
مع السلامة.
الله معك حبيبي. الله معك يا برو. سلام.
Let's see if we can park here. The largest statue. This is the main mosque here.
So I just come to downtown of Beirut city, and as you see, this is like very beautiful mosque behind me. This is like the mosque built in 2008 after the civil war. Right behind there's a church which has a longer history, and then there are some monuments and some statues there. So we're gonna walk around downtown right now.
What the hell is he doing?
What he's doing?
They are following him. He's a foreigner, I think. What the hell is he doing?
I don't know what's going on. Why he's still.
It's the first time I see something like this here.
Do you think it's related to the current situation of war?
Probably, I'm not sure, but he seems foreigner to me. He doesn't seem local to me. I don't know. The ones who are living in the south of Beirut, which has been evacuated.
Oh, okay.
So still many of them still live on the streets. So they have no place to
No
go.
place to go.
Yeah. And even now the rents are getting skyrocketing. Like they're building the apartment for them they used to rent for like $500-600. Now you pay $2,500-3,000 per month.
Yeah.
No, this story was damaged during the explosion of the port. And they still didn't fix it because maybe the building is empty or it's not inhabited, so they didn't fix it. This building was the old. The downtown area is almost empty, it's just for some historic sites and some tourists to visit some sites here. The rest is completely empty.
Has downtown area been affected by Israel?
No. Israel doesn't. They never bombed the downtown area. No, they never bombed here. They only bombed the south part of Beirut. Yeah. So this building just been finished restoration. They kept the facing because when the explosion at the airport happened, the back side of the building completely collapsed. So they just kept the facing and they built a new building behind it. And here you have one of the biggest cinemas in Beirut. It's called Cinema City. They have around 16 cinemas inside. And here we have a new mall getting finished, very modern. It was built by the very famous architect, the Zaha Hadid architect.
It's so weird to see nobody's walking.
Yeah.
Despite its elegance, beauty.
This area used to be filled with people here. Now, since the weather is not good, and plus the situation is not very good, We don't see a lot of people here, but usually this area here, when the weather is good, you see lots of children playing here. If the weather is good, and especially on the weekend, there'll be a lot of people here.
Yes, it is weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, because now the situation is not normal for us, because we are in a war.
Okay.
And plus, the weather is not good, so people prefer not to go out. They go in the closed malls.
I understand. These are all tents for people who are displaced.
Yeah, exactly. Displaced people. Some of them are staying here in these tents. So these hotels are the most famous in hotels in Beirut from before the war.
So has this area been like since the war started?
Yeah, exactly. Since the civil war, we never had in Lebanon here, we don't have 24-hour electricity. Here we have a cut they give you, but we don't have enough factories to produce electricity.
Okay.
So they give electricity to this area and then they cut it and they give the other area. They divide it into areas. So sometimes the government will send us the power maybe 7-8 hours a day, and the rest we have to give money to a local generator, subscribe to a local generator, and he will send us the power. So that's why sometimes we have the generator and sometimes we have the government electricity. So you have to pay two bills. You have to pay the bill for the government and the bill for the generator. And the bill for the generator is 2 times more expensive than the one from the government. Because they sell you the power for more expensive. So it's turned on because there is no power on this section now.
Yeah, we're there and more.
Yeah, nobody will come and walk on the
No one can here to walk down and hang out.
Yeah. But the prefer to come when the weather is good.
Yeah.
It's the only time I see this place empty like this.
Yeah.
Here they have this building there behind. You can find it on most of the magazines here. They put like advertisement for it, but it has a very unique architecture. Yeah. And here you see the building there behind, also the old building there. This was a famous hotel before the Civil War. It was called the Holiday Inn Hotel. It was a 5-star hotel. So it opened maybe 1 year before the Civil War in 1974. And after 1 year, the Civil War started, and there was a lot of fighting inside the hotel. But the hotel was the highest structure back then. There was all these buildings were not here before. So this was the highest structure, and there was like a lot of snipers on the top shooting people from the top. So it got bombed many times, it took fire many times, it got fire. So after the Civil War, it was owned by 2 different companies. One company wanted to restore the same building, and the other company wanted to destroy it and to build another one. So there was a conflict between the two, and then nothing was done with the building, was left like this. So now the building is left since the Civil War like this. And on the ground floor now you have an army base.
Oh, really?
So people cannot go inside the building now. Because all the ground floor is closed by the army. They occupy it for the army base. seems this is the building.
Do you know when it was bombarded?
Like last week, I think.
Last week.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now when they bomb South Beirut, they don't give a warning anymore.
Okay.
But before, at some point, they used to have a map with the location of the building they want to bomb.
Yeah.
Now they will say, Khat Tahrik, Burj al-Barraj, they will name the whole area.
We're here in the seaside walk.
Yeah, this is the seaside walk, all around Beirut, until we get to the other part of Beirut.
Sounds a bit strange to see things being normal.
Yeah, it's not complete. The rest of the part of the city is, you see people more than in downtown. Downtown area is an exception. So downtown area, it's not a residential area, nobody is living there.
Yeah.
When you go to Corniche, everybody wants to come to work in Corniche. But now also because the weather is not good,
Yeah.
sometimes really have 10 times more people than you see now. During the summer it's crowded. Now with the weather, nobody will be resting.
It's quite the situation. I think mostly things are
Still normal,
still normal.
But only the first part, the drive there is not normal. But
Yeah.
the rest of the country, people living normally, so here there's no bombing. So you don't really feel the war. I think that most people are used to this. We cannot, we lived so much wars before, so for us it's something very normal. Sometimes we have, like before we had a bombing here, and we had 40 people killed by bombing, and next day you see people having a party in the bar, in the street bar, in the nightclub at school. So people continue their normal life. Whatever happens, they still live their normal life. Plus, we get to know where we are getting bombed. Like the bombing are in specific areas, not everywhere. Unless you have like last time on the other side of Beirut, on the seaside, there was a bombing in a hotel. They targeted some Iranians who were staying in the hotel. And that could happen, but it's very rare. For example, yesterday we had, before we arrived, we had some jet plane flying very low. And we heard two huge boom. We thought at first it was a huge bombing, but then when we saw the application, we noticed that they told us that the airplanes that were crossing the sound barriers. There's a huge sound here. Everybody heard it.
Here in the local restaurant, Barbar, where you find local traditional Lebanese food. This is what's the name?
لحم عجين.
لحم عجين.
This is fiha, and this is fatayis paneer.
How much $1 in Lebanese pounds?
So $1 is 89,500. 89,500.
I'm so confused.
Confused with the numbers,
The number because
like the biggest bill we have is the 100,000. It's about $1.10. Each one bill is $1.
Is it because of the
inflation?
Hyperinflation.
So this same bill was used to worth $66 before. Now it's worth $1.
Wow.
It's a big difference.
Do you know the reason why they cover the price?
Because these are the old prices from before the crisis. These are old prices from before the crisis. Like the sandwich is like 6,000. Now the sandwich is 700,000. See? So that's why they cover the price. And I think the Tawouk sandwich is about $5 or $6.
But how can we know the price?
Yeah,
being covered.
We have to ask him.
This is not 1,460.
No, this is 1 million.
1 million.
1,600,460. Wow. Yeah.